Welcome. We're live. Two Alphas Talk Show 416. We're going to talk about some gun news and some other stuff. Maybe Al should come in later or not. We'll see. We'll run the show. All right, guys. So first thing I want to do is thank our sponsor of the show, and that's Saber Team Tactical. Saber Team Tactical is what's sponsoring this show and making this show happen live. Type in saberteamtactical.com and go to the website. On the front of the website, you have, you have the Facebook page, you have Tumblr. This takes you to the Saber Team Tactical Instagram page. This takes you to the Two Alpha Talks YouTube page and Reddit. This is not Reddit. This is Rumble. It takes you to the Two Alpha Talks channel. Go ahead and click on classes, and our favorite number one classes we have is the private 101 classes, and those classes actually Oh, yeah. All right. Looked like I was off the air for a moment, and so I am back. And okay, so let's go back to the classes again. We're on. Hold on, I got a call coming in,
Hey
and
man.
yeah, you're on the air, Al.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
We're working. We're working it. Yeah, I just saw that. I was watching it, and then all of a sudden it went out. And I'm like, let me call them, let them know.
Okay, thank you. WK was letting me know. It's kind of hard. I don't have nobody else to co-host right now, so I can't look at the screen while I'm talking. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's what I called.
yeah.
We get it together. I'm almost there.
Okay. All right. So Al's going to join in. He just let you guys know he's on his way. And thank you, WK, for letting me know that I was off the air. And I'm going to get back to what I was talking about with the classes. I'm just going to just stop the bleed October 28th. And we have a medical rifle class, rifle PCC class, July 22nd. That's going to teach you how to run your rifles, just like pistols, from 22 all the way to 308. If you want to carry that big beast, you can carry AKs, 5.56, anything in between, a semi-automatic rifle. If you want to run it, come on down and learn how to use it. We had a rifle tactical class. That class, if you look at the picture, we're going to teach you how to run your tactical gear and make sure your gear is good. Um, if you if you have cheap gear, you're going to find out that day. So make sure that you have good gear, and if you don't have good gear, bring what you got. We're going to see if it works or not, and we'll go from
Yeah.
there. And um, that's the last of the classes we have. Also, on the other part, I didn't share it, but we have the laser engraving side. I do stuff. You see our patch. You have the 2 Alpha Talk patch. That is a leather patch with a Velcro backing. I made those myself, and we made them to give away to fans and of the show. And I gave away 2 more today. And if I meet you on the street, I meet you anywhere and I have the patches on, you just say, hey, you watched the 2 Alpha Talk show, and I'll give you a patch. If you see us on the range, I'll have them on the range with me. And that's the way it go. And also, we are live on, let's see, we are live on Twitch. We are live on, we're on live on Rumble, and Rumble is our favorite. We are live on YouTube, and for you guys on YouTube, if you're watching the show on YouTube, please like the show, and uh, you give us a thumbs up in the show. Rumble, only thing I want you guys to do on Rumble is go to the search. Also we're on D Live. That we're on. That's another platform we're on too. D Live, and on Rumble, go to search channels, type in 2 Alpha Talk, 2 Alphas Talk, and subscribe to the channel. We need to get the channel numbers up. We have enough likes and followers on the main page of Saber Team Tactical, but when I build out um, the channel for the 2 Alpha Talk, we have no followers. So let's get the followers up there and get them start liking the show. Everybody on Rumble, I want to thank you guys for supporting the show, because you guys are amazing. You guys really watch the show, and you guys give thumbs up on the show on Rumble, and I really like that. And you guys are doing excellent for us on that.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys on Rumble. YouTube, we're going to do some things. I haven't had the time, but we're going to look into YouTube and try to get the numbers up on YouTube, hopefully after this week. This has been a very hectic week for me. I had a show I just did on Saturday, Taste of Mapleton, and the build up, the setting up for a show, then breaking down, then had to reload the car for a class on Sunday. Did a class on Sunday, stopped over and bought some ammunition. So wait, one of our our one of our followers at the show, and so I went over and talked to him, and so And now I have another show that's coming up this weekend. That's at the Jim Miller Park. That's another 2-day show, and it's at the home gardening show. But we're gonna have a large booth set up out there, and for 2 days on Friday and Saturday. So I'll be out there, and that'll be the last of my busy time for this week. Then I'll be able to chill and do some other stuff.
I'm gonna talk about the good things in the works for the show itself.
Oh yeah. We got something that's getting ready to go down. We've been invited to come and do a show at the Vault on August 19th, and they're having their 2-year anniversary on August 19th. So if you guys are in town or in the area on August 19th, come out. They're gonna have food trucks. They're gonna have, I don't know what other kind of activities they're going to have. We're still working out all the details and what they're going to have, so I can help promote it. And but we are going to be out there. We might end up doing a live show. We got the gear to do a live show out there, and we're going to be talking to guests, meeting people, and just having full running mill of the place. And we might be doing some reviews on some handguns that's in their rental bays too. So just to see.
And it's a good celebration of the Second Amendment.
Yes. It's a what now?
It's a good celebration of the Second Amendment.
Oh yeah, it's a good celebration. Yeah.
It's a tough time right now for gun manufacturers, owners. With all the laws and legal coming out, investors are really pulling back and putting their money into things that gun sales. You never know when there's going to be some type of legislation that comes down against guns that causes people to put money into it. We have a vested estate because we are gun owners, but they got to think about, even though the manufacturers can get a negative spin on in the media, we need them. We need the gun ranges to stay open so we can go shoot. We need, people. Not everybody has, 30 acres of land that they can just go out and pull the trigger anything they want. So you need indoor gun ranges. I'm not a big fan of them, but I do understand the need of them for other people. I've trained and I've taught at indoor ranges, shoot matches at indoor ranges. So I'm not a hypocrite. I do understand the need for it. I prefer to shoot outside, right? But everybody can't do that. So there's a need for that. And if there's any more legislation that comes down, because if I was playing the game from the opposite side, I would definitely hit a lot of these ranges with OSHA after OSHA after OSHA and start closing some. Because everybody can't keep their lead levels down. And we all know the inherent risk of shooting the gun indoors repeatedly. And I'm telling you, anybody out there that's listening that's a manager at a gun range, owner at a gun range, pay attention to OSHA. Because if you're playing chess, you're trying to figure out what that other person is about to do, that's my next hit. They'll start shutting ranges down. They're already doing it with the ATF sending people out, and any little signatures wrong, the person's address 1234, they wrote 123. Little things like that, they're picking on. The next pick is going to be some type of regulation with the places we shoot. If they start closing ranges down, you have nowhere to shoot. It'll make it uncomfortable. A lot of people will quit. A lot of people will turn their guns in, sell their guns, don't want to be a part of it. I got nowhere to shoot. So, we got to pay attention to those things and support gun owners, gun range owners, the local ranges, people who sell firearms, all that stuff. We got to support them.
Yeah. He's right on supporting your local gun ranges. Now it's a thing with support and the thing's getting gouged too. So if your local gun ranges are not selling ammunition or accessories at a reasonable price, go talk to the manager and say, hey, this is what I can find elsewhere, but I want to support you. You know what I'm saying? So what can you do for the customers itself? You know what I'm saying? And and see what happens, and see if they can help
be
you.
Fair.
Yeah, be fair in the pricing itself. Yeah.
Basically. Think about it. The so-called world's largest gun store in America, at least, they say the world, they don't listen to us. And they still make a killing.
Right.
Because there's certain people that don't know how to consume. There's certain people that don't know how to comparison price. They see it, but it's $25 a bottle for me to, all right, shooting is expensive. Not that expensive.
Right. Yeah, it's $25 a box for
I'm telling you, bro,
for
it's still
9mm.
there.
Yeah. But
You go around, you still see that crazy $25 to $30 price for 9mm at certain stores.
right.
Everybody's not coming down.
Right. You want to hear something funny? We're off the air on YouTube. YouTube is not.
Again?
Yeah. YouTube has tucked the show down. Isn't that something? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So everybody, we're on Rumble, and we're still on Rumble, but YouTube has taken the show down. We just found out, and but
Wow.
yeah, and that's something. Yeah.
I'm getting right now, so a couple minutes and I'll be on.
Okay.
I said I'm pulling into the back gate right now. So
Right.
a couple minutes.
Right. Let's see. We're on Rumble. Yeah, he's really talking about support the local gun stores. The local gun stores is where it's going to be. Just go over there to them and try to buy something. I just went to a non-local gun store. I had to drive way out of town just to buy ammunition because some of my guns like factory ammunition and they don't like. And I like to build up I have certain kits and stuff that have guns and stuff in them, and I don't like putting reload ammunition in it because I don't know. I can do it, but I use my reloading ammunition mostly for my pistols instead of my rifles, and it's just sometimes it's just cost effective. But nowadays it's getting cost effective where I need to start go ahead and reloading rifle ammunition too. So, and just to make that happen, I'm checking. Yeah, we're still live. Yep. So, yeah. So, okay. So he say he see us on YouTube right now. Okay. So I guess we're back on YouTube. YouTube is weird, man. I don't understand that channel. So, yeah. Okay. Cool. And a couple of things been happening in the world. Oh, well, let's go back to supporting local gun ranges real quick. Buy your guns there if you can. And if you can't, if they got some good prices there, that's fine. If they don't, I don't buy my guns at a local gun range. I have my guns shipped to a local gun range, but I pay the fee and support them in doing the transfer fee. You know what I'm saying? Transfer fees used to be $25. Transfer fees are $40 to $60 in some ranges. So if you can find somebody that can transfer a firearm for you for $25, you better be buying that person some donuts or give them an extra $50 tip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, every once in a while, because they're doing you a favor. I mean, $40 for transferring a gun is it's absurd. But
it's a going rate at this point.
It's a going rate. $60 transfer rate is even more crazier because what they're doing is they want you to buy the guns from the local store. So it's they penalizing you basically for doing it. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So they know you're saving money by ordering and having to drop there, and they're getting upset and they say, you know what? You're gonna pay $40 because we're just going to do this paperwork and you should have bought it from us. But the thing of it is, I go to my local gun stores and I look at the prices of those local gun stores, and they're almost $200 more for that same firearm. And I'm like, what's cheaper, the $40 or paying the extra $200 to support this guy? I know they got to eat. I understand that, but I got to eat too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and so I'm just like, come on, man. It's a no. Go ahead.
What you're saying is exactly true, because at this point, when we're looking at saving money and cutting corners and being a good consumer, you try to find a case, then you're going to find that online deal. And when you find that online deal, if somebody charges you $60 and you just beat their price by $100, now you only up $40.
Yeah. So
And then makes you start thinking, should I just buy from these guys? But and then back to what you were talking about, where people are gouging. That's a semi-gouge.
yeah, they're gouging to death. Now I'm going to run and check some local pawn shops around here and see what the prices are, and see if they're gouging on the pawn shops, and maybe, if I see something, maybe I'll go in there and take some cash and see if I can undercut them and see if they take it. You know what I'm saying? And to see if that old trick still works, because I'm not sure if it does nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I really don't need anything. Yeah.
Right. But that's consumerism, buddy. That what you're saying is, you're looking for the best price. You're not just gonna go and I want one of these, and you just go out and then spend it willy nilly. You're looking for the best price. So you're comparison shopping.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Anybody that has a problem with that, they just don't understand.
Right. It's like at the local outdoor range we're a member of, they were selling 9mm, 45 and 5.56 and large pistol primer, Magnum large pistol primers. The large pistol primers were $150 for 1,000. I was like, oh my God, you guys are nuts. The 9mm ammunition was $25 a box. The 45 was $35 a box, and the 5.56 was another $35-$40 a box, and that was a box. 50 for the 9 and the 45, and the 5.56. That was, I think it was a box of not 20, but I think it was a box of I think it was a box of 20. It was a box of 20, and they was charging that price for the 5.56. I was like, you guys are insane. I said, there's no way I'm not buying it. He said, well, we're not competing with anybody, but I remember their ammunition used to be as cheap as Walmart back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, and the owner was in there today, and I was like, I didn't say anything because I was thinking to myself, these guys are gouging. And he was like, well, this is convenient ammunition. If you go out to the range and you don't have any more ammunition, you come in and you got to have one more box, then we'll gouge you. We'll bend you over.
That's what he's telling you. That's exactly what he's telling you.
We'll bend you over and we'll dry hump you and take that money out of your pocket so you can go down there and shoot one more box. And they're probably getting the guys.
That's what the manager told me.
Yeah.
The manager said, just what you just said. He said, this is a situation where if you need this, it's like going to
yeah, you sound muffled, man. It's like you got your phone in your mouth. Okay, hold on. He's on the air right now, so he can say what he's gonna say. He can say what he's gonna say.
I was getting a little feedback. There you go.
Yeah.
So what it is that his thing was that if you need ammunition and you out there, he has a captive audience, because I was there when he first got it in, and he said that if you need it now, where are you going to go? And he said he has to make some money off of it because they're getting their deal, and they got it from
Atlanta Arms.
Was it Atlanta Arms? Yeah, okay, that's the one in
Atlanta Arms.
Yep, that's where he got it. So they have a special relationship. So he was able to and
so that means they're really not getting any deal. They're getting it at regular price, then they upping it to make a little money on it. Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah, because Atlanta Arms they're extremely expensive right now. And
well, they've always been a little bit better than factory. They're close to in between match and factory.
Yeah,
guys use their stuff directly into competition shooting, and even guys in the mid levels.
Yeah, I used to use their stuff, but I'm not driving out there with those prices. I'm sorry, those prices is just way too high. I mean,
at one time their match stuff was just a little bit more. So we were paying $9 a box for 50. They were about 11 because I use this.
Yeah. If Obama come back for a third term, then I'll go back out there and buy some ammunition. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to do it. It's just too much money, man. I mean, got to save some money. So, and in the So we're everywhere right now, guys. We're YouTube, Rumble, D Live, and the lovely Twitch. And like and share. Please like and share everywhere. Like and share, especially on YouTube, especially on Rumble. Thank you again, Rumble. And yeah, so that was just see what they do out there at our range. If you're stuck into a class and you run out of ammunition or you didn't bring enough ammo, you go to the clubhouse and you get gouged. So and so you can finish the class. That's basically what it is.
Right.
So yeah, and so that's what I'm gonna end up doing. People come out to the range and they don't have ammunition. I'm gonna send them to the clubhouse to go buy it. You know what I'm saying? So if the clubhouse is open, and especially for people who don't have, if you come out to take a class from us and you don't have ammunition and you didn't bring any, then I guess you're gonna have to buy it at the clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's gonna happen. And he said Atlanta Arms is cheaply made but sold at a high price, not worth the cost. You are exactly right.
Yeah.
Because they're getting their brass free, they're buying their primers and powder and bullets, and it should be a lot cheaper than what they're selling it for. It should be almost down to $9, in between $8 and $9 a box for a 9mm. You know,
But
for
they got that Army contract too. They
oh, they do?
Army, yeah, they the Army competition team, Army marksmanship team. There was that long range shooting team.
So they feeding ammunition town to those guys down there at Fort Benning now.
Oh, you look deep in the website. So I used to be there. It used to be on. It may not be there anymore, but it used to be all the different organizations that they supply ammunition.
Supplied. Okay, because I know them guys in the Army down there at Fort Benning. They shoot 1,000 rounds. What is it, a week or something like that? Per one person is shooting 1,000 rounds per 1 week. That's a lot of shooting.
Yeah,
you know, but that's all they do is to shoot.
Yeah, but that's how you get top tier.
Yeah, that's how you get top tier. They shoot all day. They shoot in the mornings. They go to lunch. They shoot in the evenings. They go to dinner. And they do it all over again the next day. You know, and it's shoot. So that's the way to go. So in the gun world, there's been some strange things happening. One, it's been a assorted amount of shootings across the country. It's been a lot, and the news is going absolutely berserk with this. And we have had another shooting that happened at a birthday party in Alabama.
Okay.
A Sweet 16 birthday party or something. I don't know. And at least 4 dead, 28 injured. Said gunman just came in and started shooting, and about 10:30 p.m. and left. They don't even know who the shooter is. So this was possibility, I think, gang related. But the
something like that sounds like gang related.
Yeah, it sounds. There is this a black party. But the news is using it as one of the mass shootings that were happening. So for them, it's looking like we done had, what is it, like 5 or 6 shootings in the last 2 weeks? You know what I'm saying? And it's just getting crazier and crazier. You know, it's like this type of shooting wouldn't be on front pages of the news. This type of shooting would be something in the local news or in the back burner news. But since they're trying to push this gun agenda of gun control, they take these stories now. They're looking for them and they're placing them in front page and showing everybody what's going on. And this was in the New York Times, and they reporting on Alabama. So go figure.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, anytime something that happens that fits that bill of a mass shooting, then all of a sudden it's put in the newspaper. It doesn't matter if it happened across country or not.
Right.
There was one that was brought to my attention. I think it was Louisville, and the guy sent it to me today, and it was 2 and 4, right? 2 people were killed, 4 people total shot, and that fitted. But it was on the national news,
It's on the national news. It should have been on a local level, but it was
right?
national.
And then
Yeah.
it turns out that it was in a quote unquote bad part of town, and it was gang related.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yet everybody's sympathies are going to get up in arms, and everybody's going to be, we need to do something. We need to do something. You know what you want done. Say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They want you to say we want to get rid of the guns.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, the Alabama thing, the governor said this morning, the people of Dayville and my fellow Alabamians, the governor said violent crime has
Alabamians.
Alabamians has no place in our state, and we are staying closely updated by law enforcement as the detail emerges. Then, right after that, next paragraph, President Biden was briefed on the shooting, and he and his staff have been in contact with the local law enforcement officials, others in support, the White House has said. So that means the White House want to be updated with any news to come out that will fit their agenda, so they can go ahead and say what it mean. We want to stop to this, especially if it was a 5.56 use. Even if it was a 5.56 bolt action rifle, since the shooter wasn't caught, they're gonna say it was an AR-15. You know what I'm saying?
Anything long gun. It could be a
Anything
shotgun.
long gun.
It's a looks like an AR-15 type weapon.
AR, yeah. What do they? No, they use the words assault weapon style weapon, even though it wasn't a machine gun.
Right.
So it's not an assault weapon. So, then we had another strange shooting. I really didn't understand. This one happened Farmington Police Department. Let me figure out where the hell is Farmington is at. New Mexico. All right. Police. This happened on April 5th, but it's just now reported on now. Okay. So what had happened was the police had showed up to the wrong address, responding to a domestic violence report at the house. So they go to the wrong resident. What didn't make any sense was a 52-year-old man clearly opens the front door with a firearm in his hand and pointed it at the police. Why would you do that? And they lit him up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And once they lit him up, then his wife comes out with her own firearm and also taking pot shots at the police.
Damn.
And they're shooting back in a gun battle. He's dead. He dies at the scene. And it's like, who's answering the door like that? If somebody knock on my front door at 3 a.m, I am not opening my front door with a firearm in my hand. Number one, I've just breached my own security.
Right.
And now I just allowed whatever is out there to come in and do harm, or me get juiced up at the door. It's like, what are you guys thinking? It's the most stupidest thing I ever seen in my entire life. And it cost him his life,
Right.
Dumb.
I don't get that.
No, didn't make any sense. I mean, he clearly had a big window where he could have peeped out the window and saw it was the police, Yeah. It's like, and the police announced themselves 3 times. Police, police, police. It's like, what are you doing, dude?
Okay. And then you respond with a gun in your hand, and you think the police are going to take kindly to that.
Well, you can have a gun in your hand, but you keep it behind your thigh.
Didn't he point it? Didn't he say
he pointed it at him? It's clear. It's day. And all 3 police officers lit him up.
Right.
Police are not missing any days because they're putting RMRs on their guns. So they're becoming better shooters, with the RMRs. So they're not missing as badly as they were back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
But you know something that I can attest to is that
Mhm.
during the stressful incidents, police officers shoot much better than they do when they're just qualifying.
Oh yeah,
hmm There,
because their
there
life
was
depends on it.
right, and it's more
Yeah.
instinctual than having to think. Front sight, rear sight. Look through the rear sight, focus on the front sight, squeeze the trigger. Now you're just
Mhm.
reacting. You're reacting, and a lot of marginal shooters have a better outcome as far as hit percentage than people who shoot 90 to 100 on a regular basis.
Or maybe they need to have something where they have paintball guns shooting at them when they qualify
yeah, yeah, get their scores up.
to get the scores up. You know,
hmm
because I don't know how some of them even qualify. It's just
Oh man, some of them
it's
qualify by the skin of their teeth. That's why
it's
if in the past I've had this debate with folks, and I used to tell them most police officers are qualified to carry a gun, not trained to carry a gun. It's a
hmm
difference. The first year, most agencies across the nation they get the most training that they'll have for their entire career, unless they go into a SWAT team or an officer's individual says, you know what, I'm going to take more training. Most police officers get was it not even 40 hours of gun training after their initial training. Like
from the you talking about from the academy.
from the academy, they get 40 hours of training across the board. Most academies require 40 hours at least.
Mhm.
After that, unless the officer goes into something specific, like SWAT, becomes a firearms instructor or something of that nature, the rest of their career, they come down, they go down and qualify. Was it maybe 2 hours total time? Daytime,
Yeah.
nighttime,
So
5, and
how
that's it.
often do they have to qualify?
Some agencies are still doing once a year.
Oh
Once
yeah.
a year, and they shoot a day course and a night course, and that's it. Some of the better and more progressive agencies they shoot twice, and some even quarterly. The feds are a quarterly thing, so they shoot 3 times a year, and some police or agencies have followed the feds lead and started doing quarterly.
So are they qualifying when they do the 3 times a year, or is
Mhm.
just
They qualify 3 times a year and some type of training in between. So they'll work on, say, use of cover. They work on shooting from a car, whatever
Mhm.
it is at the time that they're training, and then they also have to qualify before the end of that session.
Mm,
Again,
wow.
but that's more progressive agencies. Some of these other agencies, especially the small ones, with don't have a lot of a budget.
Yeah,
The first,
especially the ones who still don't have body cams.
yeah,
Because there's a
like
lot of
the
yes, a lot of counties still don't have body cams.
yep, and ones that don't have body cams. So imagine when they start making cuts, the first cut is training. The first one they get
Mm,
rid of is training because everyone's certified. As long as they keep the certification up, they're fine. But when
hmm
you start to train, that means you do one thing until you can't do it wrong, until you start to get it where it becomes natural, and then you can take that away and start practicing. You learn it, then you practice that till, and now you do it till you can't fail. You don't see that with police officers and firearms. Not
hmm
everyone, not across the board. There's some people who have firearms that have a badge that if you saw them on the range, you'd run. And
Mm.
you in particular, this would come out.
What's
This
that? The knife hand?
the knife hand would come out, and somebody's toes would be tinkling right off the tip of the ground as you lift them up.
So, but you never hear about police officers being let go or fired because of they couldn't qualify.
It happens.
It happens.
They get suspended and they get and then what you said, they come down again, they go down to the range again, and they can't. There are plenty that have been fired for that.
So
But
that
again, that's
means
kept
that make me
low key.
question a lot of people I know. They say they were police officers
hmm
and they're not police officers anymore.
Right.
So that could have been what had happened.
Yep.
They probably couldn't pass a qualification. You know
Well,
what
the
I'm saying?
person, my natural inability self in a person used to always tell people, I retired. I didn't quit. People who quit, you gotta pay attention to that. People get fired, you definitely gotta pay attention to that. So when people
Hmm.
say I'm former law enforcement, no, I'm retired law enforcement. It's a difference.
Yeah.
Difference. Some of people may, former may have just decided to become a reporter or do something else. Yeah, that's possible. But a lot of times when especially you meet some of these guys, doing different jobs here and there, and they tell you they used to be a police officer.
That means they probably yes. That yeah. They probably something happened.
Something happened. Maybe they couldn't
Yeah.
qualify. Maybe they couldn't drive. Maybe they had too many accidents in a row. All that stuff comes into play.
Right. Right. Yeah, I never hear a lot of women say they used to be a police officer. Mostly the guys always say they I used to be not a police officer. They're the ones, the biggest ones to say it. Women who used to be police officers, they kind of keep it quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hmm.
They don't even say anything. It's like,
Right.
oh, you
And
was a
especially
police
if there
officer?
was something that happened where they were released or dismissed from their job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they
Yeah.
just like, yep, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
No need to talk about it.
Right.
You know, but macho guys, they like to tell you, yeah, I used to be a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Then you find out why aren't you cop anymore? Oh, you don't want to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, nothing is that serious that you don't want
Right.
to talk about it.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I knew a guy who became a police officer. He did quit. He quit because he said he thought being a police was going to be different than what he thought it was until he got spit on and people cussing him out and all this. Yeah, I guess he couldn't take it. So
Yeah,
he ended up saying, this is not for me. You know what I'm
right,
saying? I'm done.
right.
Yeah.
That's a different, situation, but it's those ones that tell you, I can't talk about it or I don't want to talk about it. That you go, okay, that's
Now we
fine.
get the same thing in the people in the military.
Mhm.
There was like how using the military. You ask them how long what the MOS and all that other stuff is, and you say how long you was in the military, and they give you some weird number. I was in there for a year and a half, or 8 months, or 30 days, and
Right,
you're like, really, what happened?
right.
You know what I'm saying? And some of them they'll give you some, or they'll say they don't want to talk about it or some bullshit, and it's like, oh, or I got hurt, okay, what type of injury you got that they threw you out on? You know what I'm saying? And if they don't want to go into detail about it and start telling you this, that, and the other, and they still
Or
give you
even a
PA,
simple response,
yeah,
like if something that happened and I during basic I fell or whatever,
yeah.
broke a femur, something like that's understandable. It's
I've
hard to
had people
restore
tell
from
me
that.
that. I've
Right,
known
me
people
too.
who did that. They snapped
Yep.
their femurs,
Hmm.
things like that. I know a guy broke his back before he went to basic, and it was another guy who broke his neck.
See,
So,
right, and
but
those
they
things
just
happen.
just be honest about it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but that's not somebody telling you I can't talk about it. Yeah, I don't
Right,
want to talk
right,
about it. Those
yeah,
squirrels you got to worry about. Those are the ones that you're like,
right,
It's that bad to joke about, but you brought up the fact that you're in the military. Why would you do that? You brought up the fact that you used to be a police officer, but then you can't talk about it.
right,
Bye.
right,
Bye.
right.
Yeah, so I was
Exactly.
looking up these different shootings that occurred, and
Hmm.
it's kind of it's all over the place. So one of the things that and bring it back to what you were discussing. One of the things is that you have a new demographic, so to speak, of people who first time gun owners all across the board, and a lot of them are emotional. And I think a lot of
Hmm.
times, especially with these like these gangbanger dudes,
Hmm.
uh, they may not be a red or a blue or a purple or whatever color gang is out there. They may not be one of those guys, but they still have that mentality they want to be, and that's the worst
Thugs,
kind. And that's
thugs.
the
Let's say
worst.
thugs,
Yeah, the
thugs.
worst one is the
Yeah,
wannabe thug. That's the
yeah.
worst because he wants to show off.
Right.
He wants to do something so that people pay attention to him. He wants to get his
Hmm.
name out there, street creds or whatever they're calling it nowadays. That's the worst person to be around.
Right.
Not only as a friend, but also like me and you, stranger to him. That's the guy that you look and he's like, why the hell is he staring at me? Why is he angry? Like, I didn't do nothing to this guy.
Hmm.
He's looking for a fight. He's looking for he's looking to somebody to agitate him.
Hmm.
I act like none of these people exist, bro. I don't see nobody. I see him,
Right.
pay attention to him, but eye to eye, nah. I'll be the first one to look away. Hey,
Hmm.
no problem. I'm trying to move along and get the hell out your way. No problem. No problem.
Hmm.
Because I don't want to have to make your face disappear.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I
be
can
caught up
even
in the
say what
court
I want
system.
to say, but I got my point across. Yeah, I
So
did.
it's like this story is talking about 3 killed, 1 injured in the Texas freeway shooting
Mm-hmm.
tied to biker gangs, according to
Right. Hey,
authorities.
see, and that's what I'm talking about. But when you first hear it and the way they present it, it'll be like, oh, that's so
Another shooting.
terrible. Then you find
Yeah.
out it's motorcycle gangs, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
Hmm.
Those people know what they were getting into. They know what they
Yeah.
are. I don't have sympathy for gang members or motorbike gang members or whatever the hell you want to call them. They know
Well,
what they're doing.
but then they put a paragraph midway: gun violence. Louisville attack marks the nation 146 mass shooting
Oh, you on
And the
USA Today too, huh?
and,
Yeah.
and the 146 mass shooting and the 15th mass killing, whatever that means.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I guess they were wearing a mask while they was killing people.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
killing and shooting. So 146 mass shooting, right? That means
Mhm.
people were shot, but nobody died. That's
So
that's
146
Chicago,
people were shot.
Baltimore, New York every weekend.
Right.
That's Miami, Florida on spring break.
But they're not counting that.
Yeah, that's a mass shooting. The multiple people shot is a mass shooting. 3 or more
So
people,
they're saying the 146 people were shot
but nobody
in
died.
but nobody
15
died. So
mass
15 were
killing where
killed.
multiple people were killed.
Okay.
That's the difference of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that's the difference. And if you look, you see it right there in the next paragraph. It says the 3 victims were. It has to be 3 or more.
Mhm. Yeah. 2 men ages 43, 69 died.
Mhm.
And the third man, 61, was injured.
And then somebody passed away later on. The
Yeah.
problem is that they're not stopping the actor.
No,
That's the problem.
they're
That's the
trying to
bottom line.
they're trying to go
So
after the law-abiding
they're
citizen.
going after the people who even I was watching one of these guys just recently, and they're what you've been saying for a while. They're finally catching on. Is like people who just want competition shooting or marksmen and hunters, people who have guns but they're not, they even carry every day. And as we both
Mhm.
know, we know people who are competitive shooters that don't carry ever.
Mm-mm.
They
No.
put it in a bag and they take it home.
Yep.
And now with that, these people are at jeopardy of losing that
Right.
because they
Well,
see the walls are shrinking and everything's coming in and we're getting really tight in here because everybody's paying attention and they're not saying, oh, that was those two or that person. They're saying all of those people with guns and never did anything that I own personally has ever even been pointed at another person.
right.
See, all the guns that I pointed at people were owned by the agency that I work for.
Mhm.
So my personal firearms have never been pointed at anybody. So
Right.
why do they have to be subjected to censure?
Right.
See,
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's obvious what they're doing. They're going after guns, period. So you and I and guys like ourselves or females can't own firearms. And it's really getting silly. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. But you see a lot more people purchasing firearms. What was that state? Was it Michigan? It just Governor Whitmer just came out where they're trying to put more bans on firearms in their state.
Mm.
And as soon as she announced it as the governor, their gun stores went nuts.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, they were. That's when I saw one of those too, where the same thing that I was talking about earlier is that you got to support these people because then they're
Mhm.
getting to the fight, and when they start taking it to the courts, they need their money that you may have purchased the item from them here and there. That all helps out in down the road.
Mhm.
Well, before you go out, back to that Louisville mass shooting that they called it, right? And
Yeah.
2 men, ages 43 and 69, dead at the scene. A third, 61, was injured and flown to the hospital, right?
Mhm.
Paragraph, you got it. The 3 victims were all wearing clothing and insignia that indicated they were part of an outlaw motorcycle gang. Why is this even a news story?
Yeah. It shouldn't even be a news story.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
When they signed up and put those colors on, they knew what they were doing.
Right.
They were representing the blue, the green, the orange, the purple, whatever team they were on. They were representing that team against the other team.
Right.
You take an L. Why are we concerned about that?
Most of them do illegal activities anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on, man. See this is more agitation, and then that number gets thrown into the number that we mentioned earlier.
And they say, see,
46.
see,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
He said they were. Let's see, they will be going after Ambo next. It's coming,
Bro.
people. So stock up.
Listen how they wrote this. So they said about an hour later, a second shooting involving motorcyclists took place along. I didn't say that they were gang members. In this one, it says about an hour later, a second shooting involved just to add on. involving motorcyclists. That's what you break it down to. They were motorcyclists.
They were
They're
gang
not-
members.
Not that
That was a
they were-
retaliation hit.
Right, exactly.
Right.
There were warring factions inside the United States. Come on,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
You might as well call them terrorist activity. They
Right.
would call that terrorist activity.
Right. Like WK said, they'll be going after ammunition next. So stock up.
Mhm.
So, which is true. They know they can't get guns, but the brace rule is still in effect. It's still chugging along.
Right.
Nobody's gotten it removed yet, and I don't think they are. If that sticks, and so you're looking at 8 million people are getting ready to become felons.
Yep.
You know, and these agencies will arrest you. You know, so
Yeah.
you guys need to
doing
be
their job. Just
Yeah.
doing my job.
They're just doing their job. They
The
will
next
arrest
thing
you.
that I'm seeing on the horizon is those Ronies, and they call them different things, but basically the sleeve that people put their pistols in when they can't shoot.
Yeah. But they classified Ronies as SBRs a while back.
Right.
Then
But
they
there's still people going out there that have no clue, and they want that because it helps you shoot better, and they don't understand that that's SBR, and you need a tax stamp for that.
you have to tax stamp the pistol.
Mhm.
Basically, the pistol turns into an SBR because you
Right.
got to.
But it
That's the only
doesn't
thing
make-
with the serial number.
Other than the
Yeah.
fact that it's a little bit more stable platform, there's no multiplier in that firearm anymore. There's nothing makes it the bullet faster, hit harder. Nothing. It's just a big plastic sleeve.
Yeah, basically,
Mhm.
just You can do that with your arms if you lock them out, guys.
What's it called? The Weaver. You do
Yeah.
shoot in the Weaver, and you got the same thing.
Right. Yeah. Lock your
So-
arm. Yeah.
Before you move on, we just hit more. We need to start a new piece and call it like all the lunacy that we see with firearms. Two dads exchanged gunfire in Florida on a road rage fight, and one of their daughters is shot.
Oh
In
man.
Nashville, a Walgreens employee shoots a pregnant shoplifter.
What?
Yes, bro. I was gonna send that to you earlier. I saw it earlier and it was like, you gotta be kidding me. Walgreens has a no response policy to shoplifters. Basically, they don't chase them. They don't do anything.
Walmart don't do it either. They'll
Right.
just let you go, then they come out and they take a photograph
This
of your
dude
license plate.
shot the lady in the parking lot.
It's just shoplifting.
Right, just shoplifting. Exactly. Apparently she sprayed him with pepper spray or mace or something. She sprayed him with an irritant, and he returned fire.
Because he was following her. Why was he following her?
Exactly. And this was a manager.
Well, oh, he was carrying on the premises at
Yeah.
Walgreens.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he's fired.
Yep. More than
Yeah,
likely.
he lost. Yeah, he lost his job.
Right.
Then he's
and-
got grand jury that and explain that.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
you know, being in one of those different kind of states when it comes to the legal system, we have to wait and see because somebody may like them and give them a little blessing and let them move on. But the girl got shot 8 times. She got hit 8 times. I mean, they were point blank.
Oh, he killed her.
No, she survived and so
Oh,
did
she's-
the baby.
The baby survived.
It's cesarean section.
Oh man.
Yep, premature, but the baby wasn't hit, and she was hit twice in the legs area. I'm sorry, twice in the abdomen and
In
6
the
times-
abdomen
abdomen, yeah, and it missed her.
where the baby was. Wow. He
And
could have been
look,
shot.
The person that was with her co-defendant, I guess we'll soon see, dropped her off at the hospital and took off.
Oh, so she was able to get in the car, dropped her off at the hospital, and said, bye. Not realizing there's cameras all around that emergency area.
Exactly.
They
a
got your license
tag,
plate.
They
Yeah.
got a
They got
visual
your
review.
plates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And these cameras are 1080 nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
definitely
they'll
got your
figure who
plates.
that is. Yep.
Yeah.
And plus, by the time the person comes, the mother comes to consciousness, they'll question her, and she'll give her up too.
So, do they say anything? What happened to the manager? Was the manager placed in custody or
No,
released?
they were doing the investigation ongoing. Right, exactly,
You know what that means?
exactly.
Yeah, nothing's
he'll walk.
happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
Yeah, unless,
And,
unless there's some riot outside the courthouse,
Right,
then
right.
they'll show up and charge
Right.
him. But otherwise,
So it must have been a white lady he shot
nope,
instead of it was a black lady.
both black.
They're both black. That's the reason
Mhm.
why. Yeah. If it had been a white guy who shot a black lady,
Oh
then
man,
it'd
that town would
Oh.
been on fire right now.
yeah.
They'd have lit it on
Yeah.
fire right now.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to look at the color of people now that
Mhm.
in order to make sense with the news, because the
This
news
one's gonna be
is
no foul, no harm, no foul. Everything, all even.
right, evens out. They don't even want to report about it. This will never be on national news.
Mhm.
But if it had been a white guy that shot her, it would have been on national news.
Oh man,
You know?
But
White-
this goes to show you who's carrying firearms now.
Yeah.
And you got a dude that's managing a Walgreens, bro.
Yeah.
Walgreens. What you need a gun for?
But this was, if it had been a white guy, it'd have been on national news, and it went like a white manager with an AR-15 assault style weapon,
A bazooka. He
shot
with
a
bazooka.
pregnant lady in the parking lot. They wouldn't have said anything about the mace.
Nope. And if you look it up, you'll
Right.
see nobody say anything about the mace. You have to read
Right.
the story to find out that she hit him with the mace first.
Right.
The
'Cause
first
he was
story
following her.
said that a manager shot a pregnant woman in the parking lot. That's how it started, and that came from Louisville.
Why he was so close? You don't need to be that close to take a picture of the license plate.
I know, but not only did he videotape them actually stealing, he followed them outside and confronted him.
Nah, he shouldn't have done that.
Right. And
It
so I guess
wasn't.
they're probably professional boosters, as we used to call
Yeah.
them in those days, and they probably knew that somebody was walking behind him, and she sprayed him with the pepper spray. Back up off me, fool! And then he sprayed it, or he
Yeah.
sprayed him with his version of pepper spray. It just lead. It was just lead. It was the pepper spray from China. It's full of lead.
Man, that's stupid. That is so stupid. People are just getting out of control, man.
Mhm.
You know,
But you know,
out
when
of
you don't
control.
have training, you don't have a real understanding of firearms. This is what happens. This is what happens.
Boom, 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 boom.
Somebody pepper sprays you, you shoot them, and you have no authority whatsoever to be there at all. They have a no hands-on policy. They don't even have a
That's-
policy of charging people who did. If I say, "Hey, man, look,
Because
I stole this, and I want to return myself in," they say, "Get out of here."
because you know what's happening, right? The insurance companies are
Oh, yeah.
covering the loss.
Yeah.
And so they're saying, don't even worry about it right now.
So every
You know?
time that I hear people say things like, the reason why they closed that store, the reason, and they say about theft, it's kind of hard to like, okay, that's what you may believe, but I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, it's over the numbers. Their shopping numbers go down. And they just say, it's just
Right, babe?
easier. Yeah, that's to close the store down.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you said. It's a good excuse because people feel when they hear theft, they say, "Oh my God, that's such a loss," and then everybody kind of can half-ass relate to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they're making a killing in insurance, and at the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
writing all that stuff off.
Yep. That's what they're doing. They're writing it all out. And the people who are stealing knows this.
Oh,
So
my
that's
God.
why they're
Yes,
just
they
walking
do.
in.
Yep.
And it's with big bags and it's taking the time on the shelf.
And that's what he said. Basically, one of the statements that he made, that the police let out, is that he watched him, and another coworker of his watched him. They had a shopping cart and a big bag, and they were
Mhm.
putting some of the stuff in the cart and the other stuff in the one for the cart, two for the bag, one
Mhm.
for the cart, three for the bag.
Mhm.
And then that's when I guess he decided he was going to make his move, and when he did, she sprayed him, and he sprayed them.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 rounds, bro, all hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably 3 feet away.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll wake you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woke up Junior too.
Yeah. It's like this man. Yeah, the baby probably went into duress
Mhm.
because her body went into duress. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So, and
So-
then think about it. After that, all what you said, that baby's born. He's already gonna have some issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's some damn ultimate stress.
But I don't know how much money these people are making off of stealing clothes and that kind of merchandise.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Where are you going to sell it at, man? Were you selling it on eBay or
No, you sell it at the barbershop.
At the what?
Barbershop and the beauty salon. You ain't been in the barbershop in a while, huh?
I haven't been in the barbershop since the 80s.
Yeah, man. The things kind of changed, bro. You remember that I think it was Saturday Night Live, and the guy come in, "You don't have to call me Eddie, you don't have to get," and he had a trench
Oh
coat
yeah,
on,
yeah. He'll sell on the
watches.
watches and stuff.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
that's
that.
real. They will
Yeah,
still do that.
You go in the barbershop, sit there long enough, there's a booster gonna come in. He's gonna have a trunk full of everything that don't tell nobody, because if you buy
Right.
it from them, you buy it at your own risk.
Mm.
Mhm.
And they let them come in and sell it.
I don't know about let them, but they may have some kind of arrangement. How we say
Yeah,
that?
so the guy's getting paid off. Yeah.
Mhm. I mean,
Yeah.
or they may get a better deal than everybody else.
I haven't been a barbershop in so long. The prices was $6 for a haircut. So so that's how long.
Oh, damn! Did you go in there when Martin Luther King was alive?
That's how long it was. It's it's $6 a haircut, man. My dad growing up, my dad cut our hair. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, I
And
think
then
everybody went through that phase.
yeah. So then when I
Yeah,
went to
by
the
the time I
barbershop
got
when I
to
left
about
home, it was $6.
8th grade, I realized my dad wasn't really a barber. He was just trying to help out, and I found a real barber. By the time
Oh
I got
yeah, he was tearing you up.
oh,
Speaking of
Lord.
barber, we had a dude. Yeah, we called him. It was down at Fort Benning down there off of Victor Drive. We called this dude called Shaky. He's
Mhm.
he's shake like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I took one of my roommates down to go get a haircut. He going to get it high and tight. So I said, "You get it from that guy right there, Shaky." So this dude came out. And he was going to use a razor on his head, and shave him up. And the dude was like, "Oh hell no, hell no!" And I said, "This would be cool, man." And the dude, as soon as that dude grabbed his head, he stopped shaking. But as soon as he take his hands off, the straight razor is swinging around.
Damn.
That was so funny, man. That straight razor was swinging. I was like, man, and they was like, "You getting the haircut from this dude?" I said, "No, he ain't cutting my hair. What's wrong with you?"
I was about to ask you, did you go next?
Hell no. He's shaking. He's shaking too much. And I
Oh,
still didn't know barber. I was cutting my own hair still in the army. So you know what I'm saying?
right.
Got no
But
barber,
damn.
dude.
So another one that was in the news, one of these wild ass shootings, was that little boy. I think he was 6 years old.
I haven't heard
Shot
about
the
this one.
teacher. Yes, you did.
You shot a teacher?
He shot the teacher in Newport News.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
So
Yeah.
when we were younger, our parents always, kind of gave you that kind of warning, and then it's kind of a little bit of street legend, and it's also had some merit in the courts that if a child did something, that the parents was responsible. So we
Right.
were all, you always told that, and you were scared to do that. I think that kind of went away, but in Virginia with their draconian law set, they brought that back, and the mother was charged, and the family of the mother says that the gun was always secure, and it's like, if the gun was secure, how did he?
You never would have got to it.
Exactly.
She was a single mom.
I don't know, but I would,
Yeah, and that's a good question.
Mhm.
It's just because they don't say anything about the father being charged.
Right. All right.
So
all right.
it's
So I gotta,
she's a single mom.
when I answer questions with you, I gotta watch. You be baiting me, man. You be getting me all the way in too far, and then I can't get out.
Well, she's raising a monster. That's all.
Right.
That's
what
all
I
to
knew it
it.
was coming. I knew it was coming.
She's raising a monster, and the monster, 6 years old, ended up going. He's going to be in the juvenile system for the rest of his life.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That was just
and the teacher's suing for $40 million.
that mom don't have no 40 million. What is she doing?
No, not the mother. She's suing the school system.
Oh, for allowing the kid to come in with the
administrators were aware the child was violent at home, and his parents refused to place him in special education classrooms.
See,
they have evidence that happened.
Serial killer right there in the making. Yep. Mom was making him.
I have
she made him
often with people. Where are people born evil, or are they made that way?
They're made. They're made.
Some cases like this, they're made.
They're made.
This little dude was a piece of work from day one, first breath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was made to be evil.
Mm-hmm. He said he wanted to see her burn. He wanted her to put in a bathtub and light her on fire. Dude, what 6-year-old says that?
Yeah.
And people, I don't know if you ever had this. You sitting around with guys, we drinking. If you had the ability to go back in the future, who would you take out to make the change, a positive change? But you have to kill a child. And it was like,
Mhm.
wow. You know, first time I ever was involved in this, I'm thinking, dude, these dudes are crazy. And it was all SWAT guys and, you know, hard chargers of the police department. And we had an assignment that we were on. We're doing this jump out stuff. And in the middle of the lull, some dude brought that up. And it was like, almost to a man, everybody said they would go back and kill Hitler. He could be
As a child.
baby. He could be a baby. They would lock his head off with but you know, all kinds of
But killing Hitler probably could have just stopped all their existence.
probably.
Yeah. Because you got to remember the war, and the
Mhm.
babies came from the war, and that came from their parents and
Well,
great
these were all
grandparents.
American dudes. They were all
I know. No. After World War II, those guys came back and got jobs, and remember, it was a bunch of babies that were born, the baby boomers.
Mhm.
Then also, you know, that created their grandparents
I
and
understand
their
what you're
parents.
saying.
Yeah. So
But
if they
there's
would have
been-
killed Hitler, it never would have been World War II. So they probably wouldn't have been in their existence.
This was a sober. Everybody was sober. There was no drinking, no narcotics, nothing. This was a sober
Right.
conversation. So this is how lunatic these people were.
Right.
Because
They was all talking
I
about
was-
go.
I may have had 3 years on at the time, and these guys are like 10, 15-year veterans, and I'm sitting there like, wow, this is the conversation. Like,
Yeah, they killed
literally
Hitler
talking
as a
about killing
baby.
kids, and it was like, even though these people have you know, gone and became adults, the fact that they brought that up made me just go, okay. And the crazy part about it was, not one person blinked except me. Maybe I was the only one sitting there like, what the hell's going on? The rest of them were just, yeah, you know, they were telling you what they would do.
What they do to the baby.
Right, knowing what that person did, and it was multiple people that they were going
Right.
after, but
Right.
knowing what they would do.
Right.
Like,
That's funny. They're baby killers,
yes,
basically.
they didn't
Yeah,
give a
they're
damn.
baby killers.
If they knew proof
Yeah.
positive that this person would grow up to be a maniacal,
Yeah,
evil-
cynical, evil
yes,
man. Yeah.
the son of Sam. They were like,
Yeah.
man, I would do with the son of Sam what he did to everybody. I was say, what? Okay, yeah. This is what
Right.
I'm getting into. All right, that's
If
cool.
you are just have that hindsight to see evil like that and to
Mhm.
stop it, that kid was evil. They
Yeah.
saw it. His mother saw it,
They
and
overlooked
she
it.
overlooked it.
Mhm.
You know, she was next. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? His mother's next.
Mhm.
So if she ever get custody again, she's next on the on
Right.
the chopping block. So she needs to be careful. Me, I have him committed for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But see, they make excuses and they keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and there's a song out. My wife always laughs when I hit when the song comes on. I always perk up. There's someone, I don't remember all the people's names and who sing it, but it was basically, it says that you don't know who the person sitting next to you. You know, like
Mhm.
you ride a bus or a train, or you know, just out in public. You know, there could be a psychopath right next to you that you just asked you for a change for $1 or something. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if people do that now with electronic money, but still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is true. Psychopaths could be right next to you. You never know it. You know what I'm saying? But
Scary, bro.
yeah, strange stuff. All right, people. Today was a busy day for me. I was on the range. Al never showed up to get his
Yeah,
matches.
man.
He was busy.
Yep.
So a lot of things has changed out there. So see, you know, we'll talk about it offline. You
Right.
know, and let's say tell you guys another great show. I'm exhausted tonight. We'll see you guys in the range. Where you got
Stay on
at?
the range, guys. Hey, remember, support your local gun range. Buy ammunition, as we said earlier. You never know when it's going up. Buy a box.
Buy a box of 2.
That's
You
right.
know, don't hurt. So yeah, no range.
See you on the range, guys.